Can I? How long have you been just standing in that doorway?
It's only been like a couple minutes.
Okay. Do you need something?
No.
So, you just gonna stare at me?
I'm just watching you while you work. Can't a woman watch her husband work?
I don't have anything safe to really throw at you. So, got this thing.
So you're gonna throw something unsafe at me?
Get away from here. Get out. How do I make it flip you off? Hold on. Hey, come back and let me flip you off. I figured out how to flip you off with it. Oh, fuck you, man. Yeah, I knew what you were doing. Yeah. Fuck you, man. Fuck you. Yeah. 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 Debunking myths about the spider. Your 8-legged friends are not nearly as mischievous as you think or feel. They are just as terrifying, though, because some of them be hideous as a motherfucker. The video by me and Skitten from Zafrank and her death battle video are still being synced because I did it wrong the first time. Not really my fault, kind of my fault. Fuck y'all. So that's not coming out for a while, but let's get into it. Play. What? Play. Aww. Huh? Isn't it cute? Huh?
Spiders are the source of a lot of fear and a lot of misunderstanding.
Okay, so we're gonna stop there because the camera's gonna die. But also, the more we learn about spiders, the more you learn about spiders, the more you know how deeply seated in horror spiders really are. Everything about them, to the minute details, is disgusting and horrifying. And yet, they're not as dangerous as that horror would lead you to believe. So I think it's a perfect Halloween thingamabobber. Alright? Play.
Much of this stems from their capability of injecting venom with their fangs.
No.
This video isn't to necessarily make you fall in love with spiders. It's just to inform you of the pertinent facts and how to safely coexist in our spider-filled world. So, does 8 legs always mean spider? No, there's actually a lot of animals that have 8 legs. In fact, the spiders are only one of several orders of arachnid, with only the spiders, scorpions, and mites and ticks being medically significant, and the spiders and scorpions being the only venomous arachnids. What this means is that there are several spider-like arachnids out there.
Those cave spiders are horrifying.
Actually capable of causing you any significant harm. And although they might have frightening-looking mouth parts, they're completely harmless.
Yeah. Okay, that's a very true statement. But would you let that thing, I think that's a camel spider, anywhere near you? That is literally the thing from Nightmare, right there. Like, literally.
The same sentiment applies to the solifugids, or camel spiders, who are incapable of producing venom and essentially innocuous. What about daddy longlegs? You may have heard some myth claiming they're the most venomous spiders out there, but their fangs are too small to penetrate human skin. This is false for a couple of reasons, sometimes referred to as daddy longlegs. In fact, the harvestman in the center is not even a spider at all and does not possess venom glands. The cellar spider on the right does, but its venom is not known to be especially potent.
I was about to say, Phillips, cellar spiders, 1,000,000% have venom. Get the fuck out of here.
Of a harvestman and a cellar spider. An easy way to tell them apart is that harvestmen have one visible body segment, while cellar spiders have 2, the cephalothorax and abdomen. In summary, harvestmen are beneficial arachnids. They are not pests, They're not venomous and should be a welcomed guest.
That is very true.
Another surprisingly common myth I've heard is some sort of variation on spiders laying eggs underneath human skin or spiders themselves burrowing into skin.
Oh my God. Jesus
Both of
Lord.
these scenarios are impossible. Spiders protect their eggs using silk
Oh.
and an egg sac, or protect their eggs through some other means.
Could you imagine if it was like a spider, and once that fly that burrows into people's skin, if spiders were like that, life would be terrifying. Awful, even.
Also,
What?
spiders are not that sclerotized. They're not that tough for an arthropod. So they're incapable of burrowing into skin. They're simply not tough enough. Although not a spider, this amblypygid is carrying its young in the way you might see a wolf spider.
Yep.
In short, spiders do not and will not set up shop inside your body.
And then if you die, they'll eat them. Delicious.
Now, you may have heard something about swallowing spiders in your sleep. This myth is not based in any actual evidence or study as far as I can tell. Spiders really want nothing to do with us. From their perspective, we're kind of like a large, frightening part of the landscape. We are not their prey source. Spiders have evolved to eat other spiders and insects. So the idea of spiders crawling all over us in our sleep and falling into our mouths or biting us in our beds, this is an incredibly unlikely scenario. If you're waking up with sores or bites, bed
bugs. Absolutely. Bed bugs. If you are waking up with bites, it is not a spider, it is a bed bug. If your friend tells you it is not a spider, it is a bed bug. Bed bug. Don't even let them finish. Don't hear their arguments. Don't hear what they looked up on the... Ignore it. Do not let them convince you otherwise. All right? Start with bed bug, end with spider. Okay? But it's a bed bug. And everybody thinks just because they don't have a fucking infestation that they don't have bed bugs. Also false. False, false, false. Is there a baby in their house? Fucking bed bug. Did they let a family member visit 3 months ago? It's a fucking bed bug. Do they wash their stuff? It's a bed... Check. It's bed bugs. I just got into an argument online with somebody who was talking about that shit, and then the other person DM'd me and was like, yeah, bro, they have bed bugs. I was like, yeah, I know they do. I will try my best to convince them, because they think it's because they're dirty. It's not because they're dirty, okay? It's because you took that couch off the side of the road 6 months ago. It had fucking bed bugs, which is why it was out on the side of the road. It's bed bugs.
bugs are a much more likely explanation. In the United States, there may
Brown
not be a more
recluse.
infamous or feared spider than the brown recluse.
That shit don't want nothing to do with you, but it is very deadly.
And
So
this infamy largely stems from the necrotic properties of the brown recluse's venom. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, due to sensationalistic media coverage and general public anxiety, there are numerous misconceptions about this beneficial spider.
Okay.
First is the range of Loxosceles reclusa, which is restricted to an area in the southeastern portion of the United States. Now, specimens may occasionally hitch rides out of range, but they rarely settle or become established.
I was about to say, if he tells you that they're only in that area, he is full of shit, because they are most definitely in Vegas.
In the 4
But,
years that I
okay.
worked in Oregon, not one of the countless spider specimens and photographs sent to me as brown recluse were actually brown recluse. So, how to identify
Got you.
recluse?
Okay, but they are in Arizona and California and Las Vegas,
The
definitely.
violin pattern is not always a reliable character, as this is a common maculation shared by many unrelated species. A much better way to determine if you have a Loxosceles specimen is to look at the eye arrangement of the spider.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Although not sufficient for determining species,
Yep.
eye arrangement is actually one of the easiest visual clues for determining which family a spider belongs to.
The issue with that is when most people take pictures, they don't take a picture of the face because they're terrified. So that's why the violin thing is a lot easier, and then just the general shape and color is also makes it
Now, if
pretty
you're
easy.
considering Googling spider bite, or already have, here are a few things to consider. That infected thumb picture
Okay.
will show up for just about anything. Camel spiders, again, are harmless. Just because it's labeled a spider bite doesn't mean it's
Doesn't-
true.
yeah,
Multiple
that doesn't
bites
mean it's
means
true.
bed bugs or fleas. 2 marks
Bed
does
bugs.
not always mean spider bite. There are a lot of things out there that aren't spiders that cause redness and
Stab?
irritation. Be wary of sensational YouTube
YouTube
videos, and in general,
clickbait.
just be cautious about the information you find online. In summary, yes, the brown recluse does have necrotic venom.
Yeah.
But these are not aggressive spiders and they do not want to bite you. They will only bite if trapped directly against skin. Additionally, if you're out of their range, your chances of an unfortunate run-in are almost non-existent. Another species often blamed for
The hobo spider! I do like the hobo
necrotic
spider.
lesions is the hobo spider, Eratogena agrestis, with the specific name agrestis actually being Latin for of the fields, and not meaning aggressive. And currently, there's no solid evidence proving the bite of the species to be medically significant. Despite this, dermonecrotic lesions in the Pacific Northwest are all too often baselessly attributed to the hobo spider. Another very closely related species, Eratogena atrica, or the giant house spider.
I've seen those.
was
We have those in
introduced to the
Vegas
Pacific
too.
Northwest from its native Europe. This species also seems to be a source of fear, but despite its large size, it's a completely benign species. Black
The
widows.
black widow.
These svelte, glossy, black and red spiders are feared nearly all over the world. And that ventral red hourglass has become an
Terrifying.
iconic symbol just about everywhere. Although far apart, the redback spider in Australia and the black widow here in the United States are in the same genus, Laterodectus. And specifically, the
Laterodectus.
females do possess a pretty severe venom containing a neurotoxin causing severe pain and cramping. Despite this, they pose very little threat to humans. Their venom is meant to kill flies, mosquitoes, and other small arthropods. And these shy spiders are very reluctant to bite. A recent study showed that they'll only really
Bye-bye.
bite when
Do you want to see the spider crawl on this guy's hand?
Nope.
Drive safe.
directly being squashed or pinched, and these are often dry bites, not venomous.
Most of
Another
them are
closely
dry,
related
yeah.
Theridiet.
But see, in Vegas, the issue is when you stack up trash in your backyard in a dry environment, it does not take the black widow a very long time to make its nest there. And so some people will be like, dude, this stuff's only been sitting here for like a week. Like, how's there already spiders here? It doesn't have to be there for a long period of time. So people go rustling through their own things, irritating the spider, and that's how a lot of people get bites in here. Going into sheds and things like that kind of just sit during the winter time, which, you know, isn't cold enough to kill a lot of insects here in Vegas, and unlike other places. And then when you need it in the summer, there's stuff there living. So
Steatota grossa, or the false black widow, has a similar but considerably less severe bite. No spider is evil, or malicious, or even really aggressive.
I'm sure, just like there are bad people, there are bad spiders.
Simply being
Probably not.
aware of black widows is more than enough caution. Moving away from North
Okay.
America, let's talk about some other often feared spiders. First,
Yes.
let's cover the Australian funnel web spiders,
Oh,
who
man,
are primarily
yeah.
found along the eastern coast of Australia. Not only are bites rare, there have been no verified deaths from this subfamily of spiders since a effective antivenom was introduced in the
Oh,
early
yeah.
1980s.
That's accurate with the most venomous insects video that we watched. Or animals? Venomous, poisonous animals? Motherfuck. Sorry. The most venomous animal video that we watched. Yeah,
As for
that's
the
consistent.
Brazilian wandering spiders, they're primarily found in South and Central America, and they have a pretty distinctive defense display. It doesn't necessarily mean the spider's aggressive, it just feels threatened. Once again, deaths are very rare, and an effective antivenom exists. Only a small percentage of bites are considered severe enough to even require this.
Mainly in kids. Yeah, that
One
makes
of
a lot
the
of
fears
sense.
with wandering spiders
Hello.
is that they may occasionally show up in shipments of bananas. Most
Yeah,
wandering
I've heard of
spiders
that.
are not medically significant. These are large spiders that are often easily confused with other similar-looking spiders, like sparacids or lycosids. One way to
Okay.
tell if you actually have a wandering spider is to look at the eye arrangement. It kind of makes
Got
a
you.
square.
Yeah. That's really distinct right there.
Tarantulas are phylogenetically and morphologically really quite different from a lot of the spiders we've been talking about. They're often quite large and hairy, with fangs that hook backwards instead of towards each other.
They're kind of goofy looking too. Like when you watch them walk around, like big lumbering spiders, rather than like the smaller, agile looking
And aside
spiders.
from their urticating hairs, which can really irritate your eyes and skin, they pose no significant threat. When it comes to handling spiders, always let them crawl onto, never try to grab them or pick them up from above. If
Okay.
you keep your fingers together and move slowly and carefully, there should be no reason for a spider to bite you, whether it's a Latrodectus widow or a Phidippus jumping spider. Try to present yourself as not a threat. You know, you're just the ground. Why would they bite the ground? And even if they do occasionally jump, it's just what they do. One thing I've noticed with large...
I would scream like a child if I think I could handle it more in person. In video, I don't have very good eyesight, so I don't have to see all of the grotesque detail that I see on this camera. In person, I don't really mind spiders crawling on me as much. I have no problem swiping stuff off of me and everything like that, but I've never once had the want to have a spider crawl on me.
Spiders,
so
this net casting spider from Belize, that are kind of ungainly walkers, is that sometimes they will utilize their fangs to stabilize themselves on unsteady surfaces. I even had a black widow female pinch me with her fangs like this, but nothing became of the bite.
Huh.
So there's 46,000 described species of spider on our planet, and
There's
probably twice
a lot.
that many out there. And only less than a dozen or so of them are even medically significant. So why do we fear them? They're beneficial to homes and gardens. They're effective pest control of roaches, mosquitoes, other things we don't like.
Facts.
They don't carry disease. They don't kill crops.
Facts.
With most interactions between humans and spiders, it's the spiders who are the ones that suffer. They've been around much longer than we have and are part of a delicate ecosystem. In my opinion, they're not to be feared, but to be respected and admired.
That nigga look like a dork.
They represent a vast world of beauty, variation, and fantastic behavior that all too often goes unseen and, worse, unappreciated.
Yeah, very nice, man. An amazingly made video here. I can't even believe it. That was awesome. Yeah. Debunking spider myths. This man is very obsessed with spiders, and I appreciate it. So, yeah. I have no idea where to go from there. We're just going to end it off that. Let me know what you guys think. You know? I like it. I think it's a good relaxed view from all of the other kind of weird things we've seen about spiders. And, yeah. I'll holler at y'all. Peace.